5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, how are you? It's the Ramble, and it goes from now until midnight tonight, Eastern Daylight Time, and here I am. Here we go. There we are. Hello everybody, how are you? Don't have a guest right now tonight because I'm trying something, and I want you to try it out as well. It is the fact that we are broadcasting tonight. We're doing this as a test, okay? And the reason why I'm not running a guest tonight is if this fucks up during the first half hour, I can start the show all over again. But what we've got is our show is being broadcast on YouTube, as it always is broadcast. In fact, let me make sure it's broadcasting okay. Yeah, there it is. It's there, okay. But if you go over to Facebook, you will also see us live at the same time. And you should be getting the audio and the video and all of that. And we'll see how many people watch on Facebook at the same time. If this works, I give myself enough ways to fail. Why not this? Okay. So please enjoy yourself. Go over to Facebook and take a look at it and tell us how it looks. You can comment on the page and so on, and let us know how it's looking. And by the way, my nose is hear that? Do I have any? No, I don't have any. I was singing it. I have my Afrin here. My nose has been like this all day. I was at the chiropractor today. And what he does is he got that little table. Well, it's not a table. It's kind of like a couch, or I don't know what they call it. In the old days, it probably used to be in, like, during the Inquisition, they used to have it in torture chambers. But anyway, he puts me face down on it, and of course, I am down in this little. My face is down in this little well, okay, and it's in this well, and then there's the tissue paper on either side, and I'm lying there, and for some reason in that position, my nose starts to get all befuddled, okay, and problemed. Is it problemed? Is that a word? Is that even a thing? I don't know. Anyway, so I then have problems with my breathing, and so every now and then we got a tissue, and then he gives me these tissues, and they're like 12-ply tissues, which is fine with me. I mean, the bigger the ply, the better. I'll tell you what we use for tissues around the house. Here's what I use. Oh, here, this. I use for blowing my nose. What is that? Well, I'll tell you what that is. Boy, the light goes down. It's not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to have that turned off. Anyway, this is a Bounty paper towel, okay? And I can blow my nose on these things forever. If I get them all wet and it's like I've had a cold and it's like it's all soggy and everything, just put it over to the side and let it dry out, and then it's ready to go again. Now, we take these things, we were mentioning this, and I wish everything in America were made like this, okay? If you're listening to us on audio only, I'm sorry. Do you realize I'm running audio here out to the internet? I'm actually recording it on another system entirely, and then I'm doing this thing out to YouTube and then out to Facebook. Okay, so, and you know how many more listeners that'll get me? About 2. Anyway, so where was I? So, the tissues. So, sometimes I put them in my pockets, and you leave them there. And then the girlfriend goes to do the wash and forgets to take them out of the pocket. Now, you know what normally happens with tissue that you don't get out of the pockets in your clothes is it shreds and is everywhere. You've got like, you've got this lint thing that's all over your clothes and everything, so you got to like wash them again and hope that it comes off. These things don't fall apart in the wash. They just get washed. So I've got a theory that I only need to buy one roll of Bounty paper towels, and then I can go down to the just take them all when I'm through using them, whether I've wiped my ass with them or wiped my nose with them, throw them in the washer and dryer, and if I'm lucky, okay, they'll all come out just really clean, and I can reuse them again, But so how come we go buy the big thing of them at Costco and bring them home, and I always had a thing about toilet paper. I've mentioned this before on the show, and I'll mention it again. Okay, and here's the theory. Do you ever notice that on a roll of toilet paper it says 500 sheets? Or 800 sheets, more sheets, right? We got 800 sheets, 400 sheets, 500 sheets. Now a sheet is when you take the toilet paper and you, along the perforation, separate it and you've got one sheet. Have you ever used one sheet to wipe your ass? No, of course not. You take the thing, you roll it over, about 5, 6 sheets. Is that thick enough? Okay, and then you do whatever you got to do with it. Nobody uses it that, one sheet at a time. If you did, here's my theory, if you did, how many times a day do I take a poop? Maybe twice, okay? I'm an old guy. I like my time on the toilet. Even if nothing comes out, I like being there, okay? So where were we? So yeah, so that so I had I figured that if you did it that way, and you were very sparse with it, okay, like can I get poopy here? Can I get talking about poop a little bit for a second here? Yeah, I think it's kind of important. I like it when I get the trots, and I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't take as much to get that area clean with the toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so liquid that it's very easy. But when it isn't liquid and when it's really going at it, we got a problem. Okay. So I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Is this too much information for any of you to have? Are we getting audience with this conversation? Let me see here. Well, we don't have that many on Facebook, but we have quite a few queuing up on iTunes. Okay. Well, on YouTube. Man, I'm losing it. I'm just losing it. Anyway, so I've got all these screens to look at. There's so much of me everywhere. Anyway, where was I? So toilet paper, you should be able to last. It should be able to last 500 days if you use one sheet at a time. But no. Somehow that toilet paper, especially if there's a woman in the house, is gone in 2 days. 2 days a roll. I say 2-3 days a roll best. Okay. And what I always hate about the first part of the roll is they're now putting so much toilet paper on the rolls that if you put them in the normal kind of toilet paper holder, for the first couple of sheets, you've got to roll the thing out because you'll just get one sheet at a time. Is this more than you needed to know about toilet paper? Hell with it, Let me see here. Here's where I fall apart on technology. Today I had to return something to my union, and it was to say, hey, I'm still living at this address, and I'm still doing this, and I'm still around, and keep sending the bucks for my pension and welfare. Okay. So I had to fill out this form. They said, you got to send us this form, otherwise you may not. They just say may not get your pension and welfare checks. So anyway, so I filled it out and all of that. And now you can either send it back in or you can fax it. And here's where technologically I have turned into a vegetable. Okay? I couldn't get this thing to fax. I put in the number and I put in the sheets and nothing happens. And I don't know what I did. I think I changed to color. And then all of a sudden it started dialing and going. But then when it got to the place it was going to, it says this place can only take black and white. So I said, yes, go ahead. And it did it. So now, but I don't know how I got that thing to send. To be very honest with you, no idea how I sent it, okay? I know that sounds ridiculous and that sounds absurd, but I just couldn't figure it out, But I sent it. And now, the thing, then I get a little thing back here saying, yes, it went and it was okay, and the other machine got it, and so on. But I still don't know if somebody there got it, But then again, to be on the safe side, also mailed a copy of it to them, which was the other option, so that they'll be getting 2 of these. So just in case, they will know that I'm still want my checks. But I've never really used fax machines that much. I've sent a couple of faxes out of here, and before it worked pretty easily, but this time I couldn't figure out how to get it going. So anyway. There's a little gap in my knowledge. Also, last night I get off. I tell you about how I get off the air at midnight here in New York, and then I do a couple of things here to, update the programs and post the programs and so on, so that you can get them on various and sundry things. And I have to go to a thing called FileZilla, which goes to the server, and then I go in and I put all these things in there, the programs and so on, upload them and so on. And then there's one case where I have to change the names. And when I tried to change the name, it says, you do not have permission to do this. And I've had permission to do it on every other folder. How come not this one? So I can't get it to work. So I call up GoDaddy. Now, I've had very little problems with GoDaddy. I mean, the thing, for the most part, works flawlessly. But I call them, and what they do is and I was talking about this the other night, but it was a little different on that thing with my server up in Canada, because that guy just didn't even know what was going on. The first guy I get is, and he answers quickly, and I'm going, wow, I'm just going to get out of here really fast. And he listens to me, and he says, well, I'm going to have to turn you over to our technical people. Oh, I see. I get turned to the next level, okay? So we go to the next level. And at the next level, the guy goes, well, this is a mystery to me. We're going to have to take it to an even higher level. Please hold. And they put me on hold, and I don't know about you, but if you've ever called GoDaddy, this is a multi-million, maybe $1 billion company, okay? They make a lot of money. You would think they could afford decent music on hold. At Apple, I guess because they have the rights to a lot of music, they give you the choice of music that you can have. Do you want classical? Do you want this? And every time you want a different kind, you just push the ampersand or whatever, and you get better music. But the music there sucks, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. There are 2 songs, and if you go online, there's even, and just say, GoDaddy hold music. There is actually a YouTube of that music. It's terrible. And I'm sitting there, I'm waiting forever. And this thing is just forever and ever and ever, and nobody's picking up. And then the music stops for a while, so I don't know whether I'm still on hold, and then it starts up again. And then it sounds like somebody's picked up because I can hear some noise in the background, and it's back to hold music. And I'm going on with this for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, I look over at my FileZilla, and somehow it's working again. So apparently, somebody was told, somebody got it working, but nobody got on the line to tell me it was working. So that kept me up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Get up this morning. See, these are the fires I'm constantly putting out. I get up to this morning, and I decide, hey, I don't check in that often with our Roku channels because, hey, they pretty much take care of themselves, and I'm probably going to do a little bit of changing of them and so on to make them better or whatever. But nevertheless, I wanted to check and see how it was working, and I go to my thing where it says Alex Bennett's Ramble, and I go in there and I click last night's show, and the thing is blank. The play thing is blank, and not only is it blank, but after seeing that for a couple of seconds, Roku crashes. I mean, my app crashes. Now I get back on, I go to everything else, except for Michael Snyder had the same problem, and it crashed. I can't figure out what this is about, and now I'm spending an hour and a half trying to figure it out. I finally solved the problem. It had something to do with the fact that the thing that makes up these files that tells that well, whatever, didn't get written properly by the program that was doing it. But, that's another hour and a half out of my life. And I don't have that many years or many hours left. I'm beginning to think that every day wasted is a day really wasted because, who knows? I'm going to the guy for the prostate exam next week, and my PSA was up. It was high. It was up around 6, 7, but it could be higher because I take certain pills which could suppress it. Anyway, I could have prostate cancer, which is not the worst thing in the world because at my age, supposedly it's usually not aggressive, and they just sit there and watch it. It's kind of like television for a urologist. Sit there and watch your prostate cancer. Anyway. But I'm realizing that, it could be, it could be aggressive, and it could be stage 4, and it could be already infesting all of my body, and I've only got so much time left. And I don't know if I want to spend it waiting for tech support on GoDaddy or this company up in Canada, which I keep forgetting the name of the company. I've been with them for 20 years. I just don't know. I look upon that, and then today with this thing, an hour and a half, that's an hour and a half out of my life of what precious little time I have left. Am I morbid or what? Who knows? Gee, there are only 2 people watching on Facebook. I don't know. I wonder if we should be doing this. Are you guys there? Whoever's there says, howdy from your South Dakota friend. By the way, Abby and the kids are great. That's from Luke. And Karen E. Sturtevant says, howdy, Alex. And those are the 2 people that are watching on Facebook. You can go over to Facebook, by the way, folks. We are on Facebook tonight, simultaneously with YouTube, in what is now the great experiment that if all goes wrong, everything will explode, and we will see fire coming out of here, and flames and smoke, and, it'll really suck. So, anyway, a few items. Here, I don't know how many of you are bothered by some of these companies like Amazon, Facebook, and so on. But hundreds of musicians are pledging to cut ties with Amazon. Now, I got to tell you, I'll tell you why Amazon is terrific. Amazon's terrific because of the Echo, right?
I don't know that one.
Okay. Anyway, Right? Yeah. I don't know that one. Anyway, no, but I have, what, 5 of them in the house? I have them in every room. Who knows when I'm going to want to put something on the shopping list, right? And who knows when I'm going to want to know what the temperature is, even though I have it on my watch, right? But anyway, so it says here that a lot of musicians are angry with Amazon, more than 380 of them pledging in an open letter today to cut all business ties with the company over work of its huge Amazon Web Services subsidiary. The musicians, including well-known indie artists such as Ted Leo, Deerhoof. Have you heard of any of these guys? Or Damon and Naomi, Zola Jesus, Downtown Boys, and Sheer Mag. I have not heard of any of those. And is it because I'm too old? Answer me that. Go ahead. Be blunt and honest. Anyway, the letter, organized by an activist group, Fight for the Future, and the public introduction of No Music for ICE, was spurred by AWS's plans for a music festival called Intersect. The letter demands that AWS cancel all contracts with independent businesses and government agencies such as Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Control over human rights abuses it's alleged to have committed. I use AWS, believe it or not. It's Amazon Web Services. Don't pay them a penny because you can have so much, you can use them for so much, not a lot. But if it's not a lot, it doesn't cost you a cent. And I use very little of it, but it's that for the Roku channels. I need to have that to hold some files. They're very small files. And so the company that I go through to do the website, to do the Roku channels, requires that over a certain amount I have to have AWS services, that they don't want to keep it on their servers. They don't have any room for it. And AWS is Amazon Web Services, which is probably one of the biggest web service companies in the country. Didn't know that, did you? You just thought they sent you hot cocoa. Yeah. They got more than that going from them. The letter demands that Amazon end work with projects that encourage racial profiling and discrimination, such as facial recognition technology. Let's see, Amazon's connection to ICE is through the database services it provides to Palantir, a data analytics company which has contracts with the agency. The report quotes the musician saying in the letter, "We will not allow Amazon to exploit our creativity to promote its brand while it enables attacks on immigrants, communities of color, workers, and local economies. We call on all artists who believe in basic rights and human dignity to do the same thing." Blah, blah, blah. Isn't that interesting? Didn't even know that, okay? But they're getting all pissy about Amazon Web Services. I mean, I'm not going to stop using them because they don't make any money off of me, so I don't feel guilty about it, okay? And, whatever. Let me see here. What else? How are we working? We're going out. Oh, we got 3 people now watching us on Facebook. Maybe more than that. If you are, just write something there. Hold on a second, folks. I got to get myself. What is it? I need a Tums. I started grepping a little bit here. Let me see here. Anti-grep pills. I have all my medicine and everything over here. There we go. Here's the one I really like. I use this a lot. Do you ever use this? After bite? If you get a bug that bites you or something, use that. Pretty good. Anyway. There we go. Now I'm feeling better. Okay. Well, I suppose it's time for us to start talking to our citizen panel. This will be some fun. First of all, I have to open up the Skype lines. Where are they? There they are. I don't open them immediately because some people just call me anyway, and even though I don't have my little green light on, although the green, oh no, I see the green light's off. Okay, yeah, it always is on when I first. There we go. Now we're on. Okay, that little dingy thing you heard is part of what they do over there at Skype to let me know that somebody called. Anyway, cup of coffee here. And this is where I wait for people to call. And we have our lines are open. By the way, if you don't know how to call this program, we'd like some new people to call it. It's always nice when we get new people. You just go over to gabnet.net, and over on the right-hand side of the page is a whole tutorial on how to call us. And it's very, very simple, using Skype, of course. What do you know? The first person online tonight, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Schmoody. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Other people are calling. Wait a minute. I gotta get them online. Let's see here.
Okay, what is this?
Here comes Jeff Stein, and here comes Phil Meyer. And I noticed that Charlie Wallace tried to call. Yeah, here comes Charlie Wallace. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let me see. There's a Charlie, and let me see here in the number 3 spot. Let me put. Let me see here. Who was there last night? Okay, so that was Charlene. So now we'll put Scuba Diver in there. Okay. All righty. And then we got to go get Jeff. We got to bring up the 6-pack here. And we have Jeff, but we have to. I have to change something here. Let me get rid of Phil on that one. Okay.
I was
have
in the 4th spot.
You were in the 4th spot last night, and then Jeff was in the 5th spot, but we don't have somebody in the 4th spot right now. I kind of made it moot, as it were, and so therefore, there we go. That's what. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the wrong one. I pushed the wrong one. See, I'm such an idiot, such a fucking fool. Anyway, so how do you like this? We're not only going out on YouTube tonight. We're going out on Facebook. So that means
we're so lucky.
So that'll mean we'll get 3 more listeners than usual. Actually, it's 4.
Got 20 watching.
Huh?
You had 13 before you started talking.
I had 13 before I started talking? I guess I chased them away, huh?
No, now you got 20.
No, I just figured out how I can do this so that I can take the output from this machine, put it into another browser on my PC, and send it out to Facebook. So now we're down to 2 people. Why am I doing this?
I got 19 over here.
No, I know you got 19 over there, but now I've got 3 on Facebook. But then,
Facebook.
Then when I sign off, if you go to hold on a second. Oh, my underpants are riding up on me.
Was that due to the chiropractic adjustment?
Yeah, my chiropractor didn't adjust my underpants. That was the problem.
Wedgie.
You had mentioned the table you were on.
Yeah.
Does it drop down when he goes to do the adjustment? Is there like a sudden drop?
Yeah.
Okay, that's called a drop table.
Yeah, but then he also
makes his life easier.
Also, at the end, he turns it up this way, so I'm standing up.
Yeah.
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 What's going on with your son tonight, Kathleen?
Homework.
What?
Homework.
Oh, homework. I thought you said Hallmark.
No.
Uh-huh. What grade is he in now?
8th.
8th. So that's a junior?
Junior high school.
Junior high school. Let's see. I see 7, 8. So senior, sophomore. So he's a sophomore.
So he's 13. He's getting bar mitzvahed this year.
He should.
He should.
Yeah.
He'll be a freshman next year.
Boy, it's hard to believe he's 13 because he looks He's tall. He's not a.
And he's getting a little beard and he's getting his mustache, so everybody thinks he's 18.
Are the pubes?
Well, he'll be the first one to buy the booze.
Are the pubes?
Yes.
Hold on a second. Are the pubes coming in?
They've been there.
Oh, okay, fine. That's all I want to know.
When he was like in 3rd grade, he started getting the hair underneath the arms and he was bitching about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Was it 3rd, 4th, or what?
Well, tell him not to bitch about it. You get to be my age and you lose the hair under your arms.
It starts growing out your nose. And your
I don't
ears.
know why. Yeah. I don't know why. Do you guys have the same problem you have it, Jeff, where you get losing your hair under your arms a little bit?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've still got some, but not as much as I used to have.
It's an affliction at Gabnet because you keep got to raise your hand to say something.
Yeah.
And you lose the hair under your arm.
I see. Is that it, Phil?
Yeah. Now, I still got the hair because I don't raise my arm too much.
I see.
But, my shoulder hurts occasionally. So, it's an ADA thing.
Yeah. So anyway, to all you people who are on Facebook, all 3 of you, I hope you're enjoying it.
Facebook, huh?
Huh? Yeah, well, I figured, but the thing is, when I'm finished with Facebook and I stop the show and everything, it then says I have like 200 people that watched it. So Facebook is far better for getting an audience than YouTube.
Nah, it's fake news.
It's fake news. It's fake.
Yeah, Zuckerberg wants you to advertise.
I see.
And if you advertise, you can buy on Facebook. They sell ads. And if you want your content to go to more people, they'll give you $20 towards it if you spend $500.
Well, if you people go over to Facebook now, you can my page, which is facebook.com/A Bennett, ABENNETT. You can just you can just see it over there as well. So
I just go to find friends, and you're the first one, or some of the first ones, because you're an A. Well, you got 5,000 friends again.
Yeah, I always have 5,000 friends.
Yeah.
Stick figure.
Well, I'll tell you what I do. There are people that it says here's some people you may know and you want to invite. And when it goes down to $4.99 or $4.98, I then invite those people. And the reason I do it is if I don't do that, I then have a bunch of hookers trying to be my friend. And I have enough hookers who are my friends. So, I don't need any more hookers. No, it's just a pain in the ass. And Zuckerberg does nothing about them.
Lucky.
So.
I'm trying to remember.
Listen, if he wants to talk, have him stick his head in there and talk to us, Kathleen.
You know what I told him? I leaned over and I said, Alex has hooker friends. And he goes, what'd you say?
No.
He said, lucky.
Lucky? See? You're learning how to raise a guy.
And when he was 5 years old, he goes, Mommy, how come when I see girls, my dinker gets happy? This was me. Thank you, Jesus. And then, I don't know. Ow.
Well, I think that there's something bad about you as a mother. I've said you've been a good mother, and you've done a good job in raising a kid as a single mom. But I'm beginning to wonder if this kid wound up calling his penis a dinker.
No, that was me.
Oh, I see. Did anybody here ever call their penis a dinker? Anybody? See?
No. Never used dinker.
What did you use?
Schlong.
No, when you were a kid, when you were a young kid.
Young kid, it's pee-pee.
No, pee-pee is what comes out of the wee-wee. No,
yeah, okay. Yeah. No, wee-wee is what comes out of the pee-pee.
You know what I used to call poop? What I used to call poop?
No, what?
I don't know why, but my mother would always say, "Do you have to go And I go, no, I don't have to go So, Yeah.
This is degenerating fast.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
show?
Hookers and poop.
Well,
Yeah.
I did the first half hour. I did on toilet paper and
Yeah,
paper
well,
towels.
Yeah.
I don't use any. I was you were conserving. You got the 5 or the 800 sheet thing. Do you think you'll outlive the toilet paper roll if you only use one sheet at a time?
I wish my son would use one sheet at a time because he goes through rolls like there's no tomorrow.
Does he mummify his fingers?
Well, so
Damn near.
do women. Women go through toilet paper faster than guys do.
Yeah.
I take my paper, I use it, and then I fold it over, and then I use it again, and then I fold it over even into a smaller thing until I've got a cottonelle swab, basically. And then if I'm not clean yet, I then get some more.
You ever use the baby wipes and then just throw them in the can?
What you know what I do like is the what do you call it, the toilet paper, the
Baby wipes.
no, not baby, they're not baby wipes. These are adult wipes. These are just moist towelettes.
Yeah.
That's got alcohol on it.
Well,
That'll do a
you're not
number to
old
your
enough,
sphincter.
What were we gonna say? What were you saying, Jeff?
Phil's not old enough to use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the alcohol will do a number to your sphincter.
No, there isn't alcohol in there. It's like
Baby in the toilet, the little wipes you get from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
no, not those things.
talk about
No,
those.
I wouldn't wipe my ass with one of those things because number one, they're not big enough. No, I'm talking about it's actual toilet paper, but it's wet toilet. It's most moist toilet paper. I don't know what they call them.
So you're reusing the toilet paper.
No,
Hey, come on, let
no,
me grab that out of the
no,
toilet.
but it's wet. It's moist.
Yeah.
So when you wipe your butt, it cleans everything.
Well,
So you're
came up with this-
springtime fresh.
I came up with this thing for the shower. Instead of using toilet paper, it's like a shower douche, and it's on I've got a 36-inch.
So every time you go to the bathroom, you go take a shower?
Well, no, you don't have to take a shower. You step into the shower and you wash your rear end. And
Well,
it's
why don't they have bidets for guys?
Bidets would be a really good idea. Basically, this is a bidet, but you can turn the pressure up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that a bidet is for a woman to clean their nether parts.
Well, you mean it's also not to
for
clean the
guys,
tush?
too?
It's for guys too.
Yeah, well, no. Well, when
In
we were in Europe and there were bidets there, you never said to me, Alex, you can use the bidet too.
No, she thought it was a water fountain.
No, it's more like, whoo, cold.
Yeah, but I mean, in hotels in Europe, they have like a regular toilet and they have a bidet. It's not like the bidet is built into the toilet.
I was wondering why they just didn't hang it on the wall like the rest of the men's rooms.
Yeah,
Europe.
yeah.
You're-
Yeah. So, anyway.
Europeans couldn't make it to the wall.
Really?
Well, they had a hard time standing up. So
What do you
sit
think
down.
of gender neutral bathrooms?
Gender neutral?
Well, I mean, in other words, that anybody can use the bathroom because
at ball
they
games.
in those they have nothing but stalls. They don't have urinals hanging on the walls and stuff.
Well, at ball games, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
the women take a lot longer to use the toilet, and the lines are a lot longer.
I was going to say that.
And I think that they ought to be able to use the men's room
Mm-hmm.
if they want to. You got to go. You got to go. Why should?
Gotta go.
And I do the same thing. If I go to Pete's Coffee or and they got now they're eunuch bathrooms, but if I go to coffee shop and I look and there's 2 bathrooms, one says women and it's empty, I'm gonna grab it, especially when I had the prostate issues.
Yeah, well, here the thing is that I've always felt sorry for women because, like in movie theaters, when the movie is lets out and they all go to the toilet at the same time, there's a big line, and guys, you just walk right in, and I often wondered why these movie theaters didn't have ladies' rooms that were
They're
2
discriminating.
times the size of the men's rooms. But they never do. They're the same. I imagine they're the same size. I've never been in there, at least legally. You know, am I right? They're the same size, right, Schmoody?
Sometimes smaller.
Kathleen?
Well, the one here in Tracy, our theater, I swear the women's bathroom's got to have 20, 25 stalls.
Really?
It's huge.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know about the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it just a row of urinals or what? Do you remember?
It's kind of large, yeah. It's large.
And
He says his is too. It's the men's is big too.
also, I have an admission to make. When I go to the men's room, I have to use a stall. And the reason I have to use a stall is that I feel my bladder gets really shy when there's a guy next to me in a urinal.
I will not use the toilet in an airplane except to pee. I will not sit down on that toilet.
Why not?
I don't even want to walk
I
onto
agree.
the floor. Huh?
I agree.
So I that's why I belong. I get these credit cards so I can apply belong to airline clubs and I can use their bathroom. But I go into the handicap one, which is larger, so I can hang up my stuff and roll in my bag.
And how do you think Patrick feels about that?
Hey, let him stab it and grab it, and he can use the urinal like the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he needs it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, how do they know I'm not handicapped?
or
I'm
handicapable.
a Republican.
Well, that's a handicap in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have less people on YouTube than we normally do because some of them are over on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, is that the deal?
Yeah, I think so. And then here's somebody who is really particular. Brian A. Neary writes, he says, we're here, looks great,
Brian's a
sounds
friend of
great.
mine.
Yeah, but then, here we go. Marshall Goldberg writes, and this is a very particular guy, faith, and how he had time out of his big day to do this and to figure this one out. He said Facebook is about 15 seconds behind YouTube.
Okay.
Well, the
Michael
meds are
Goldberg
kicking in.
says Facebook is about 15 seconds behind YouTube.
So he's got it open in 3 different places.
Michael Goldberg says Facebook is about 15 seconds behind YouTube.
So, yeah.
If he's trying to figure it out right now, it's really fucking him up.
Echo.
Echo. Anyway, anybody else want to call this program tonight? I don't give a shit whether you call or not. I have no place to go, nothing to do with my life, except wait on hold with some tech company after the show because something didn't work again tonight.
Hey, we've got fires in the wine country.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well,
As long as it doesn't wipe out where my storage is, I'm fine.
Well, you never know. If they don't put it out, this morning it had burned 10,000 acres and there was 0 containment.
Wait a minute. Look at that. Look at the size of that cat.
It's cat.
She's actually small compared to my third cat, Jingles, who's like 15 pounds. He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, but she's big. Look at her. Yeah.
He's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
A customer and friend of mine bought a cat, and he brought him into the country. It's called a Savannah.
No, I have.
Yes.
You want to hear? You want? No, wait a minute. You
This
want to
thing is
hear?
a monster.
Wait a minute.
It's like a tiger.
Stop a second. Listen to me. I've talked about this. Haven't I talked about this on the show?
I don't know.
I had my girlfriend, my old girlfriend, the one that I went with for a long time, broke my heart any number of times. You remember her?
Oh yes.
Kathleen, because Kathleen was the rebound, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, she broke my heart, and then we got back together again for a short time when I came to New York. She was living in Cleveland by then. So I went out to see her in Cleveland, and she says, "Oh, here's my cat." And it was a serval. And it was huge. I said, "This is a huge cat." And she says, "Yeah." I said, "Boy." And she says, "Very rare cat, Savannah." They're called Savannahs. They're also called servals. And they are a combination of a house cat bred with I'm trying to remember
This is my friend's cat.
I know. I've seen them.
No, you haven't seen
Wow,
this.
that's
Yes, I've seen them.
And this is a baby.
Phil, I've got 20 pictures of servals.
9
here.
months old and 25 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Holy crap.
I know. Let me finish the story, can I?
Yeah.
So I'd never seen these cats in my life, and when I went to sleep that night, the cat came up and stood on my chest, and it was like I was in the jungle, and this fucking wild animal was looking at me.
I don't think you can. These things aren't domesticated. These things are wild.
No, they
animals.
are domesticated, Phil. They are half. The Savannah is half a house cat, and I can't remember which house cat they use. And then it is the
vicious one.
No, and then it uses it's bred with a. I'm trying to remember which animal
Tiger?
it's bred with.
Mountain lion?
Huh?
A mountain lion?
No. It's an African cat.
Yeah, these come from Africa, and my friend John went there to get this cat, brings it back, and it's
Phil.
he's got two of them.
It's not like it's unusual.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
Paid a
how
lot
it's.
of money for it,
I'll tell you how it's not like it's not unusual. It's not unusual. It's not unusual because I then come back to New York and I hook up and get to know Ronnie again. Okay. Wait a minute. No, that's not what I.
You had a hookup?
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to get Tony on here. Hold on a second. He's webhead. Hold on a
That's a
second.
big cat.
There's another one.
Okay, there we go. Let me see here. Let me put him on there. There's Tony. All right, there we go. All right. No, but anyway, let me tell you the story. So anyway, so she has this Savannah or serval. They're known as both.
She wants down.
And so I'm amazed by the cat, and it's a huge cat. Okay, now I get to know my wife again, Ronnie, and Ronnie says, "Oh, look, I got myself a new cat. Just cost me $2,000, but isn't it gorgeous?" And I look and I go, "Oh, it's a Savannah." What are the chances that I had two women in my life at the same time who had Savannahs? You know?
I think John paid a lot more than $2,000 for this cat.
Damn.
Well,
$2,000.
yeah. Oh, they're expensive, you know. But some people don't think you should have them because they are still partially wild. And people, when they walk them down the street, they walk them down the street on a leash, and they go for walks
Good
just like
job.
dogs do, you know. So anyway,
Never heard
No,
of
my cat, my black cat Jingles is part Maine Coon.
let me. Wait, I'm trying to look it up here.
Those are big too. You the guy Brian that you had mentioned. He's a friend of the same guy, John the Agostino.
Here
That's
we
how
go.
I
A
met him.
serval. Okay.
The car guy.
Serval. Wait a minute. Translation from Spanish to English. What is it? Why are they doing a translation? Here we go. Here's a picture of one. Now where do we go here? They're partially. I'm trying to look and find out what they are. Okay, Savannah cat. All right, I'll look up Savannah cat. Savannah cat. Savannah cat. No, it says Savannah cat price. Anyway, here we go. Okay, what does a Savannah cat cost? Oh, wait a minute. Kittens generally range from $12,000 all the way to $16,000.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think he paid even more than that.
Just checking around.
Is it legal to own them?
How do you get
It is not legal to own them in certain states in the United States. But wait a minute, I'm trying to. It's a cross between a domestic cat and a serval. Okay, that was the cat I was thinking of. Okay.
What is a serval? Is that one of those things at the gates of hell?
No. But,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. No, but it's a part exotic serval and a domesticated house cat.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, they could kill you, you know. Let me see here. I have. Let me see. I have one here. Here you go. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can.
Here it is
see here.
playing in its enclosure.
Yeah.
Well, here's one. Here's one that's
That's John's.
Hold on a second.
That one's a baby?
Where's my
Yeah,
screen?
it's 9 months now.
Wait a minute.
I don't know when that
Here,
was
folks,
taken.
you can see there we go. There's a serval. The audience can see it. That's a serval. Okay.
John says it'll go to 30 pounds.
Yeah. Really?
That's a cat. Oh, it's very
It's a big cat.
Yeah.
Did you see the teeth on that thing?
That isn't. But here's a picture of one.
See him taking the fish.
Here,
like
here they
in
go.
everything. It's
See?
going
Yep.
right.
There's a picture of one.
Wow.
So you can see what they're like. They're
That's a cat Trump would have.
huh?
That's a cat Trump would have. Nothing but the best.
Yeah, nothing but the best,
Best
right?
cat.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a serval. It's called Savannah, but it's part serval, part domesticated cat. But I
The
had
one he has
my
looks more
ex-wife,
like serval.
and I have pictures here of her cat. I mean, and he lived. She had him for about 13 years, I think, something like that. Yeah. And she said he got really grumpy as an old man, you know. So, but anyway, it's maybe the most expensive, one of the most expensive cats around, and I found them lovely to hang out with. Although, it was funny, her cat, Ronnie's cat, I would cat sit the cat when she'd have to go away, and the cat would stay with me and have nothing to do with me for like. Yeah, I know, Phil. I've seen them.
He's going to feed them.
Yeah.
It's a video.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Crap, look at his ears.
That's all right.
Yeah.
He's small.
And this is as a baby. This is 5 months ago. So the cat was 4 months old.
Yeah.
At that,
I don't know why
at
you're
that
so
time.
amazed. I've been
I'm
living
not
in
amazed.
shit.
I wouldn't go near the goddamn thing.
No, the cat would stay with me and not do anything except he would ignore me and would not like me to go over and pet him and stuff while I was taking care of him, saying, "Look, you know, I'm giving you fucking food. You could treat me a little nicer, all right?" So anyway, so I this cat was just very standoffish, except when I would sit down and start to have to type stuff on my computer, work on my computer, and then it would come over and rub against my legs. And the minute I would stop typing, he'd go away. I don't know what
Did
it
he
was.
scare you?
But
Sound of the keyboard.
but it wasn't until the day before she came back that all of a sudden he decided to be pals. And then because I think he knew she was coming back, and he wouldn't have to be nice to me for too long. So anyway, but you know, and both women in my life at that time had servals. So that's that. Okay. How you doing, Tony?
I'm hanging in there.
Have you got mom stuffed yet in the basement?
Actually, I just gave her 2 Tylenol PMs, so I'm hoping she's done for the night.
Well, if she's drowsy,
happy
just
day.
point her
When
towards
she's
the
asleep,
stairs.
it's like party time. over
Man, you should have her take this pregabalin, which is like Lyrica, and it
there. Does it knock you out?
this stuff every night it knocks me out. I do 8 straight hours, don't wake up, I'm fine.
The 2 Tylenol PMs, I noticed I gave her one time. It wasn't enough.
Yeah,
2, I won't see you till tomorrow morning.
really, that
Yeah,
bad?
it's pretty good. Yeah, she, I just put. You know what I have to do for her though? She has like a little radio I bought her that makes sounds like rainforest.
I see. Okay.
So right now we got the rainforest on in the bedroom. So that and the Tylenol, she's done.
Does
I'm
she
just
say
making
that
up this-
the seashore makes her seasick?
Well, she has to hear something. Like
You know,
tonight,
the waves, can,
No, don't.
she wanted me to put the air conditioner on now. She's a nut. I want to hear the sound of the air conditioner. I says, "No, Ma, it's 60 degrees out. People are gonna think you're insane." Well, that goes without saying.
Well, they
That
have.
runs in the family?
Wait a minute.
She has to hear a sound in her room. So I usually put on like the radio, or she likes the like the rain or the rainforest. It does all different noises.
Yeah.
I'm
My
gonna
son
check.
sleeps with the fan on. He likes the sound of the fan.
My mother was like that too. She either that or anything had to have the sound.
Yep.
Had to have the sound. Or I'll keep the window open and she'll
Well,
hear,
well, the reason is it's what's called white noise.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's white noise. I can go to sleep with an air conditioner on, and you would think you wouldn't be able to because they make so much noise. But the noise is white noise. It's kind of neutral noise,
You know what I sleep with now, Alex? And I've been doing it for a long time. I leave on
puppy?
the radio, the news radio, like 1010 wins, and it puts me to sleep at night.
Do you know what?
listen-
Do you know what kind of? Do you
I
know what
put my
kind of
CPAP
noise? You know what kind of noise? A noise an oyster.
What?
A noisy noise an oyster.
But yeah, I have to have voices on in the back.
I
so
always
listen
like
to
that
news.
joke, and nobody else
It is.
does. Did I ever tell you that joke, Kathleen?
all the time.
Yeah.
If you did, I don't remember.
If I did, you probably would have hit me. You know.
She wouldn't admit. I put the CPAP mask on.
Yeah.
Are you
and
still wearing it?
I put an earplug in.
Well, you
one
listen to
ear.
this, folks. No wonder we don't have any young listeners. Oh, I put on my CPAP, and I'm missing my fucking toes, and all this stuff. You got Charlie.
I put my mouth guard in so I don't break my teeth at night, and then I turn on GabNet after the show, and within 10 seconds I'm out.
Yeah, but I mean, I got numb feet. Charlie's missing some toes. Jeff is RoboCop, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I would be afraid.
He's got all this mechanical stuff inside of him, and
Somebody opens the
Phil
door,
has
it's
no
like, wait,
prostate, and Tony's got a mom who tells him to kill women who rent the
laying
motel
at the bottom
room.
of the stairs for about 3-4 months.
I got the chairlift now.
Hey,
What?
did they ever come in and see if she's been abused or in good condition? Or
Yeah, actually, funny you said that. We have the visiting nurse comes over like every couple of months just to check on her. So I made the appointment for Saturday at 10. She just comes in.
oh,
Make sure
so is
she's
it
still-
like my weekend with Bernie? You prop her up in the window, and the visiting nurse comes by.
No,
Yeah, there she is. Ooh.
Well, I made
Excuse
it
me,
Saturday
folks,
because
but
my sister-
my underpants are
Mom,
riding up
let's
on
buy
me
some
tonight.
cookies for the lady. Mom, we got enough shit in the house together. Come on. We're going to put the Intamin's cake on the table. She's going to look at you. Don't say nothing too stupid, and then we're going to send her on her way.
You want to know something, folks? This may be boring the shit out of a lot of you, but it's sure better than talking about Trump.
Did he
you
do
know-
anything today? I didn't watch the news.
You know something? I suddenly realize I am so sick of hearing people talk about Trump. I turn on the TV and that's all that's they say. And I who needs it? Who needs it?
Hey, have a
Can you
Trump-free
imagine if he
zone.
wins again for 4 more
Well, no,
years?
but a Trump-free zone, I wouldn't want him to do that because someday he might do something we really have to talk
then
about.
you have a 20 minutes of the show that is all Trump, all 20.
Oh, I got
And
the
then-
I got the latest thing for you. Hold on a second. This is the latest Trump
All
20.
20.
Are you ready for this? Have you heard of Summer Zervos?
No, what's that?
No, is that a cat?
Summer
I was
Zervos.
just thinking the same thing.
What
It's another kind of cat.
about Summer Zervos?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is she hot?
Some are Zervos and some are not. But anyway, a former apprentice contestant who has accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her in 2007 presented evidence Thursday in a New York court filing to back up her claims.
Blue dress?
Yeah.
Something like that.
DNA.
She contacted lawyers about the allegations. Well, no, hold on a second. Come on, I'm just trying to go up. Okay. Contacted lawyers about the allegations in 2011 and reached out to Fox News about the matter in August. California-based restaurant owner, who is a Republican, is suing Trump for defamation after he essentially called her a liar following her public statement in October 2016 about the alleged assault. The fact that the plaintiff sought legal counsel in 2011 and spoke about it to others, including a news organization, years before the events of 2016 at issue in this case, strongly supports the inferences that her core narrative is true and states the filing from Zervos' lawyer, Marianne Wang. The filing cites emails and calendar entries to back up the claim.
Ooh.
So,
She saved her emails.
so, how do you feel about your boy essentially accosting a woman and raping her?
Was she hot?
She was 12 years old.
12?
my God, really?
Okay. You know, that's not bad.
Trump denied
He was
assaulting
consenting in
Zervos.
India.
He denied assaulting Zervos. He didn't deny having sex with her. He denied assaulting her.
Well, that's reasonable.
Huh? What did you say about a
Well, if the
cat?
president does it, it can't. be
Wait a minute.
wrong.
What did you say about a cat,
They
Kathleen?
got to get him on something sooner or later.
Yeah, she's a,
Hey,
a Zervos.
They got these people, they come out of the woodwork, one after another. If it isn't Kavanaugh, it's this one. Pretty soon they're going to have people who are going to say that Ruth Bader Ginsburg raped them. You know?
Well, now that you mention it.
She was all over me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what goes on under that robe.
The Ruthinator, as I used to
There's
personally
nothing.
call her.
Ruthinator.
You know.
She raped Trump.
Really? Oh, we're down to one
Yeah.
person on Facebook. I don't even know why I'm doing this experiment tonight.
Well,
How many do we have on YouTube?
Maybe they all went to
29.
YouTube.
29.
29. Oh, they probably all went over to YouTube.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know. But
Let's see. I
the
gotta get
picture
back.
is just the same. It's just as good. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, but it's I found a way to do it, and but I don't know if I'm going to do it every night because it's not really a problem to do. But why should I go to the trouble for only one? Three people now. Oh, well, maybe it is worth it. By the way, I was looking at. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There's her son. He doesn't want to be seen. Come on.
Put a hat on.
On Dandy Campbell.
He's a good looking kid.
How to torment
He's
your
told
child.
so.
Really is. Huh? He's really a good looking kid, you know? What? But is he shy to be seen? Is that it? Or is he just playing hard to get?
He's playing hard to get.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's in his underwear. He's in his underwear.
No, you're not in your underwear. You're wearing. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look.
Oh, the uniform?
I got my superhero. pajamas
You know,
on.
and you're lucky I'm wearing those. Oh, here comes Phil. Phil's got them too.
Oh no, he got a gun.
Yeah. Anybody else
Get 'em
wearing
on the
them tonight?
Gapnet
You're not
store.
wearing them tonight, are you, Jeff?
What?
Nope,
You've got a pair of these though, don't you?
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
See.
But
See.
It's
My
standard
dad has
issue.
a pair
And
too.
how about you, Charlie? You wearing them at all?
I'm not wearing right now, but I have them.
Yeah. Okay. So we
He's
should.
not
We
standing
should.
up
Not
either.
enough. I mean, it's not cold enough yet.
No. Yeah, but we should make it required clothing for this show. Let me see here, and then Tony, you don't have a pair of those, do you?
$9.99
I got
at the
superhero.
Gapnet store.
See, I think that as you get older, there's a moment when you wake up one morning and say, "Plaid sounds like a good idea to me."
Yeah.
I've always had them.
Pretty soon, suspenders are going to sound like a good idea.
Oh,
A girlfriend keeps wanting me to get suspenders.
okay.
And I said, I don't want there's nothing that appeals to me about the Larry King look.
Except the fact that you don't have the belt around your waist and it's more comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
I'm almost ready to go there.
No, on Facebook, we're back down to one person. What is it? There's nothing interesting here to watch. Am I going to have to start running like porn here or something like that? Oh no, well, Facebook will close me down. But no, I went to the chiropractor again today, and guess what?
You feel better?
No,
No.
You dropped $110.
I dropped $110. I'm a little lighter in the wallet.
Right.
I don't know whether I'm going to go back. I haven't
You
decided.
need a
yet.
different guy.
Huh? No, I mean, come on. It's just that he said
When they use a drop table, it's because they're lazy.
to begin with, he knows what's wrong with me because he's seen it on the X-rays and
But he's not gonna fix it
analyzed it.
because-
No, he did some stuff today. He said your back is straightening out. Now, how do I
Show me
know
on the
that?
doll where he touched you.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
oh, but I mean, I just don't know if it's working at all in any way. You know.
Do you think it's more mental then? You're like in your head, like you feel
Well,
better?
I mean, Charlie says, hey, he swears by them.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never failed to get relief.
You've been out for a long time, and you've been in pain for a long time. Do you think they're going to be able to fix this overnight?
No, I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting that. But I am expecting a little bit of something. You know?
Well, did you tell him that it didn't do anything last time?
I said no real change from the way I was when he asked me.
And so
he says it's a slow process. What do you mean? About $3,000 worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried to submit to your insurance yet?
Well, they submit it to the insurance.
Oh, okay.
You know, we'll see.
So are you paying each time?
Well, if I find that I'm not paying a lot, you know, but if I find that Marjorie on her visits to this guy only gets like, you know, checks for $25 or something, and but if I find that he's paying for a good chunk of it because of what I've gotten wrong, then maybe I'll consider continuing with it to see if it works. But, you know, he says, oh, I see improvement already. Your back is straighter and your alignment is better. And I'm going, I have to take it on your word, you know.
Does he have one of those machines that measures your hips and to see what angle they're at?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Do you get up and stand on a thing that he puts around your hips?
No.
Okay, then he doesn't have that.
Well, okay. Doctor? Yeah.
Now, I got a guy that what he does is he's got a program. He rubs this thing down your spine, and then the computer shows which vertebrae are out and which one he's got to adjust. Mm-hmm. And there are different colors. Red is very far out, and yellow isn't so far out, and green is fine. Leave it alone. And so they can see exactly what it is, how far it's out, and then they can fix it.
Yeah.
So
okay. Hey, by the way, you know who had his prostate removed a couple of weeks ago? Is Chris Matthews over at MSNBC. I turned on the TV set today. That had to be 2 weeks ago. I turned on the TV set today. He's back on the air.
Needed the money.
You know, I mean, how long did it take you to recover? It took you a month,
and
right?
10 days I had the catheter. I say I was out for at least 12 days, 2 weeks, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I was just, you know, I mean, if they have to remove mine, which I don't think is going to be the case.
They're not going to do that to you.
They're not going to do that to me. They'd rather see me die. Yeah. You know.
Well, you die every night on Gabnet.
Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Bada boom.
Very funny, Phil. Very funny. Gee, I wish we had more people on Facebook. I could then say it was worth doing. Well, anyway. That's all they're going to get on Facebook.
Did you tell your 5,000 followers that you'd be on Facebook tonight?
No.
Well, then why do you think anybody is going to all of a sudden
watch? Because I would have to say it on Facebook, and they're not going to Facebook now. You know, if I go live, they get a thing that says I'm going live.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know. Boy, I don't think you've gained a pound since I knew you last, Kathleen.
Nope.
Because I got really fat. I got heavy, really porked out, and then I lost initially 60 pounds. It's more like 50 now.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at me. Look at me. Look. How do I look?
That's impressive. I must have not been watching you when you were all chubsy-ubsy.
Well, I might have
on the radio.
I might have actually been. Right. I might have actually been a little heavier than this when I knew you. You know.
No.
Yeah. I mean, do I look?
Really?
What do I look like? Do I look like I look then?
Never heavy.
Huh?
You were never heavy.
Am I heavy
he
now?
He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
How do I look now? Am I heavy now?
I can't tell. Not really.
Look sideways. Huh? Okay.
Heavy, man. Heavy.
Heavy, groovy.
I used to say to my business manager, "Do I look fat to you?" And he
Oh,
said,
you used to say that to me.
What do you say?
"Yeah, do I look fat to you?" And he said, "No, but you look fat to everybody else."
That's a trick.
So I got a new accountant. What can I say? Yeah. So let's see here. Well, what is in? I could say what is in the news, and it's just the same old shit. So.
Well, what do you think about that case in Texas with the father trying to fight for custody for his son because his ex-wife wants to start giving the 7-year-old puberty blocking hormones?
The 7-year-old is claiming
Yes.
he's identifying as a woman or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to identify as a German Shepherd.
I'm gonna be a kitty.
They got hormones for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how to make a hormone, don't you? Refuse to pay her. Anyway. Wow. You get that one, Tony? No, you didn't get that.
Which one? No, I don't think I did.
Ask your mom.
Yeah,
She's sleeping. I can't. I'm not going to rock that boat.
You know what I think's
don't want
amazing?
to
I've
see-
actually got more people on the Citizens panel than I do on Facebook. That's really interesting. But anyway, now I try to think about how to stir the pot about Trump and so on, and I'm just so tired with it. Are you all exhausted? How about you, Jeff? You exhausted with this whole Trump thing?
Well, yes. I mean, I try to take a little bit look every day,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's the same thing from the day before, I turn it right off.
Yeah.
So, I'm willing to give it a 38-second test.
Well,
You
today,
want something different?
what?
Just go to Fox.
No,
They'll tell you the truth.
no. Everybody had a dead corpse on television today. They had
Yes.
what's his name, Elijah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't do me any.
Hey, that was the first time he had his mouth shut in Congress.
Oh, shut up, Phil. Come on.
Come on.
This guy was this is one of the guys that even the Republicans liked. They
did.
No, they liked him as a person. They said he was
Oh, as a
wonderful.
person,
A
yeah.
wonderful
As a
person.
congressman?
Yeah,
Not so much.
yeah. Do you know he's the first black guy I think ever to be in the rotunda of the Capitol, lying in state.
Oh, you might be right.
Yes, he is. Let me see here. Let me go try and get Bree on here. Bree just called in.
And he's horizontal.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Is he horizontal? Let me see
Yeah.
here. There he is. He's horizontal, but he's
I'm
probably
transcendental.
yeah.
A landscape kind of guy.
He's a landscape kind of guy, ladies and gentlemen, from Malaysia. It's a lovely and attractive Bree. How are you, Bree?
Oh, hanging in there.
Yeah,
Watching all the craziness in the U.S. media.
yeah. And what's your takeaway? Because you're in a position. You're in a wonderful position because you're sitting over there in Malaysia, and all you can go is, well, fuck it. I can watch this for the entertainment.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's like theater of the absurd.
Yeah,
It's just insane.
yeah. But who's the most absurd?
It's all absurd. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? That guy from California that's run Ship. He's pretty absurd. But did you hear?
But you
there's
know what I don't
two
like,
new-
Phil. What I don't like.
We look like a
what-
banana republic.
I'll tell you. Yeah, exactly. What I don't like about
And
Trump.
we are.
What I really
We are
hate.
kind of
What I
now,
really hate
because-
about Trump is he's just crass. He is he's a crass, rude human being. He has no decent personal qualities that you'd really like to see the person who's president at least impart some couth. Is that the best term I can think of? Because
That's not what he's doing.
he's uncouth, Phil.
So what?
Yeah.
He's crass.
Oh, okay. So don't call him emperor.
I don't
Trump.
call him president. Neither does anybody else. Do you ever notice when you watch television, nobody refers to him as President Trump?
I do.
Do you
You're in a
really?
small group.
I even
met-
His lawyer
capitalized the
actually
T.
told the judge that if he shot somebody dead on Fifth Avenue,
No,
then nobody could do anything about it while he was president.
he said to the media.
Well, that's true. That's actually true. I mean, no, they could do something about it. They could impeach him. But then
If he shot somebody.
he'd say, prove I shot somebody. Yeah, right.
With Trump, you wouldn't have to because he'd come out and admit it. He'd be proud of it.
Bree, why is it we're only seeing your nose and your eyes?
Kilroy.
It's a weird. I can't explain it, but it's not my regular iPad holder. It's my phone holder that I'm using for my iPad. Let me see if I can look around and find my iPad one.
Use a glass of water. That helps.
Yeah, yeah. But no, his uncouthness is, it's just he's, he used the word bullshit the other day,
Okay, because a lot of it is.
Well, no, I'll tell you. I would not say bullshit.
When did you become such a fuddy-duddy?
I'm not a fuddy-duddy.
But
think.
Alex, do you think we could ever go back? I mean,
Oh no.
could you imagine the next, some of the things, I don't understand some of the things they'll say about someone, and I'll be like, wow, that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what Trump has done. So the next president can just say, oh, that's not a big deal because that it was worse with Trump. So let's just move on.
I think they should get Andrew Dice Clay to run for president.
Jeez.
Better than Trump.
Yeah.
Trump took his act to be president.
He
saw
did.
that.
He did. No, but I mean, I don't know.
Colbert.
There's a certain thing to be said for civility, okay? And I think he has made this country uncivil. Just by his actions, because when somebody's president, they set the tone of the nation. What?
I'm just sticking my nose in the air.
Why? You're looking like Mussolini.
Yeah, well, you want civility. Oh, it's tea time.
No,
at
that's
the White
not the
House.
point, Phil. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You just don't like the way he communicates.
No, he doesn't communicate, Phil.
That's
He
the
grunts
problem.
and he farts. That's really what he does.
That's what it sounds like to
I
you.
mean, how do you, Kathleen, how do you like the fact that this guy is president and your son watches him and his actions?
Actually, my son doesn't watch him.
Oh, okay.
No.
And-
But you don't have to worry about Trump shooting a gun. His teeny tiny little hands couldn't hold.
What, are you listening to Marco Rubio now?
Got small hands.
This is why I hung around that woman a lot. There's little stuff like that. God, you used to make me laugh a lot.
We had fun.
Yeah, we had some fun.
But you know what it is, Alex? It's like you said, Phil. You have to admit, he really doesn't. He come across as a show off, and like he's always throwing it in your face.
Yeah.
He's like the guy you don't want to hang around with after. It's like this guy is an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Not
mean,
too many people are hanging around him, but it's okay.
And everybody's quitting on him. They don't even want to be with him.
yeah. Well, there are a lot of people that just don't want to have to be making excuses for his behavior.
Yeah, you're right. That can definitely be because it's like, and you know what? He can walk away from the presidency and he'll be just fine. You know what? These other people,
Their lives are ruined. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even want to be associated with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, if they go,
you actually wanna turn
if
the
on their
Trump
CV they list, I work for Trump, I think that's it.
Don't throw that application right in the garbage.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you for coming by.
See what
We'll be in
he-
touch.
I'm thinking about changing my little resume that I,
Your
keep
CV.
up, my CV, and say I never worked for Trump. Just in case you don't know.
Yeah. Do you still do resumes?
No, I mean me personally.
Actually, I never did a resume. Usually, I was just hired.
You got to send a
You know.
tape.
What? No, I never. Very few times. I never got a job I auditioned for. I always got jobs that I didn't audition for.
because when you audition, they didn't hire. But
no,
hey,
no. I mean, I got asked most of the time to come places and to work for people, and I didn't. The thing I always said was once when I was out of work, is I said I don't know what to do because I don't know how to handle things when I'm out of work.
Yeah.
I don't know how to look for a job.
You like to work. This chiropractor, this is what his machine looks like.
Yeah.
You see the green and the yellow. It shows you which vertebrae are out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I'm sure that
that's all done with this wand.
That really looks like an X-ray of sorts. It looks like a fucking cartoon that somebody drew.
Yeah, well, what it does is it.
Oh yeah. You believe that, don't you? You believe.
They'll show them anything in there and then say, "Here's the bill."
Yeah.
It's the Backinator 3000.
It's the Backinator 3000. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, Kathleen. What do they tell them?
Yeah.
Just show them anything. You'll believe it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How come my skin is black? Oh, that's the
By
wrong
the
one.
way, one person is watching us on Facebook, and I suddenly realized it's me.
Oh, you're watching it.
The one person.
You're the only one?
One person is me. Wait a minute. Are you watching it on Facebook, Charlie?
No. That's you're the one person watching.
Is anybody there watching it on Facebook? Any of you guys?
I will be in a minute.
Okay, because I want to see if you suddenly watch it, if it goes up to 2, or whether that number is bogus, which I've often suspected.
Well, let me get there.
Well,
where the hell is Friends? I don't have any. See all Friends.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got to scoot down to the thing. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
All right, I just hit the thing.
Okay. Still is at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep watching it. Let's see if it goes to 2.
I just put it on the phone, so.
Yeah. And it's running? The video's running?
Yeah, the video's running.
It's still at 1. Does it say 1 on yours?
Let me turn it so I can see it. No, it's on. I'm on the phone, so with that, so I can't.
Now 2 just came up.
Oh, okay.
So they're not lying. There was just one person listening to me.
Oh, yeah.
It was me.
So 1 is me, 2 is you. That's
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and it's moving. People are moving.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'll do this a couple of nights and see how if we can get any kind of audience with it.
Does it cost extra?
No.
Okay, then do it.
You know,
unless it's going to make you nuts.
It's just what I'm doing here is I'm patting my head and rubbing my stomach at the same time. You know, I've got all the stuff going over here because I have the output of this going in to the PC through NDI, and then I'm sending that picture out to the internet to Facebook. So.
Hey, did you notice Bree's got something in his light fixture that looks like a butterfly?
Well, it looks like by his ceiling, by looking up at his ceiling, it looks like he's trying to crawl out of that place.
No, what is that? Is that a picture or something?
Yeah, those are pictures on the wall that are just reflected into it.
Oh, into the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Bree, how's your job going?
Well, it's going okay. I've been here now, 2 months, and I guess one of the things is that when people sort of expect that you know things that you still don't know, and I'm kind of in that phase. So I often have to ask people to spell out acronyms, and I have to remind them that I don't know all the things that they know. So
what's the biggest one? BYOB?
Well,
how are your kids? How are your kids and wife adapting to Kuala Lumpur?
Oh, fine, no problem.
Really,
so,
there was no.
The thing for me is that I'm learning. I've sort of known my strengths and weaknesses over the years, and they're just coming back to me, now because now I'm more in an administrative position, and I am not. I have to come up with new ways to organize things because when you come into a new office, it's different, and I'm using different technologies, and we're sort of in between this mode of using hard copies versus soft copies. Everybody wants to go paperless, but then and I also have to figure out who needs to be informed of what, and who needs to be in on what conversations, and so that's my dilemma right now. And a lot of people go away, for business trips. So I really need to meet with them, but I can't. And it turns out I should have scheduled it.
Do you have that Outlook calendar? There's a company in Germany that was on the news this morning that they're going to a 5-hour workday, that they get there at 8 in the morning. Their meetings are limited to 15 minutes. They leave at 1 o'clock, and they got to leave their cell phones and all their social media in their backpack. They're not allowed to break them out. And they're saying that they're much more productive than when they were working 8 hours and they could look at their cell phones for 3 or 4 of them.
Right. Well, there's a lot of this going on. And, I was thinking the other day, like, why do we work Monday through Friday? Why not just Monday to Thursday? I mean, why not have a 3-day weekend? And, and in Dubai, it was kind of like that because I worked Sunday to Wednesday, and I was kind of off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I liked that. I felt I was more productive.
Was that because Sunday was, or one of those days was a day to work, or the religious day that you'd have to take off?
I think if I ran a company, I would do that. I would probably give my people 3 days off. I would stagger them so that I had a full crew all the time. But that people, I think, who work less are more productive when they are working.
Yeah.
Because wait a minute, let me finish. Let me finish what I was saying, Phil. Yeah. And what happens is if you overwork people, then they have a tendency to kind of like slough off part of the time. Slough off part of the time, so you're only getting 4 days work out of them anyway.
I recently turned my schedule at the store. I've got people coming in at 10. I got people coming in at 8. I got some to come into 10, and they're there till 2:30, and I got others that come in at 12:30, and they're there till 5 o'clock. And then there's 1 day a week that they work the whole day, and then Saturday's 11 to 4. So they have a day off during the week. They got Sunday off. Saturday's a short day, and
Yeah, but I just think that if we work people less, the time that they spend working, they will be more productive.
Yeah. I agree with that, Alex, because when I was working in a stupid warehouse, I don't mean it like that, you get burned out.
It was a stupid warehouse, and you hated that job, and you hated your uncle, so admit it.
Look,
I did hate him.
I can say
I can't wait for that funeral. No
Tony was texting.
I'm going in my fucking pajamas.
I can't wait for
Tony
that
did
funeral.
Nothing at that job except
Hey, let somebody get a laugh for a second, Phil. Yes.
No, you're right, Alex. I'm not just agreeing with that. Phil, he's right about this. I think if you worked less, you would be more productive.
Yeah.
Because after a while, you're not.
Well, because let's say you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. People tend to not work all those 40 hours. Exactly. They kind of slough off and whatever. If you gave them, say, a 30-hour work week, the fact would be that they would work much harder during those 30 hours because they would be refreshed.
They just grabbing their hours.
What's funny, Alex, here is I had to file for a business trip recently, and you have to go through. Every place has its own system. So I found I have to do, one of the procedures is you have to find 3 quotes, and then you turn it over to the approved travel agency, and they find comparable, and they double, triple check it. So the one place I picked, they came back with 2 comparable hotels, which they thought were comparable. And in my view, they were not. So I had to go round and round with the finance department to explain the definitions of comparable and business. One of the hotels, the review, in fact, I have the review because I took it out. Yeah. And I said the travel agency didn't do their due diligence because they were saying a 2-star was comparable to a 4-star. And I was thinking, okay, maybe a 3-star would be a compromise. But the review said, this is the hotel the agency the approved agency. The hotel is very bad. There are people who use drugs and thieves. I do not recommend living in it, even if it is free. This was this was the kind of hotel that they were telling me I should stay in on my business trip. And
you mean that wasn't a 5-star review?
You got to lock everything in the room and leave.
Yeah, well, I mean, so they wanted you to stay there.
Well, that was the recommendation. Yeah,
did you show them that?
Like,
did you show them that?
Yeah, I did, and then suddenly, I was able to get the 3-star as the compromise. So I wanted a 4-star. They said a 2-star. Ultimately, it became 3-star. But my point to them was and is, they don't have their policy doesn't state how much that you can spend on a hotel on a business trip.
Yeah,
which I think it should. They tell you the rate if it's within the country, but they don't say overseas.
Yeah.
It's just at the discretion of the big boss. And I thought that's a waste of the big boss's time to have to go in and approve or not approve every single hotel room for everybody making a trip. That's ridiculous.
Can I recommend a book for you if you're doing a lot of administrative stuff? It's
What
called
is it?
The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. So it's the same guy who wrote The 1 Minute Manager, but this one is The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey, and it has to do with people trying to put tasks on the manager's back, and then eventually the manager becomes ineffective, and he's doing the work for everyone else while everyone else.
Well,
is
I guess
out playing
Oprah
golf.
had her book club, so you can have
Well,
yours.
What I told them it was like is Jimmy Carter scheduling the tennis courts.
Yeah. The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey.
Okay.
Definitely recommend
All
it.
right.
It's only about
Okay.
70 pages, but
Oh, well, then it's the kind of book even Trump would read.
Yeah, big,
Well,
and it's got pictures in it.
he gets it on tape.
Does it have big print?
It's got pictures.
Well, there's a great line on who's the guy that comes on after Fallon?
Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
I like
He
him.
said that. He said he called Turkey to tell them that they should call off the war, and they told them that he had called the Butterball hotline.
Yes.
That's funny. You think Trump is that stupid, Alex? Like, if you talk to him, you'd be able to figure, like, you could probably put something over on him.
I don't think he's terribly bright. I mean, I think that if you were to compare the IQs of Donald Trump, say, and a chimp, the chimp would win.
See, Phil?
Trump became the
Phil,
president of the United States. How dumb can he be?
That's how dumb he is. Americans voted for him.
That's not his fault.
That's true.
He ran a campaign and he won.
And he's going to win again.
He
Big
won.
time.
He won.
He's going to win
but
bigly.
He didn't win by numbers.
He's not going to finish this term.
Bigly.
He's going to finish, and he's going to win the next one. He has to. There's no other choice.
Well, I mean, look, I agree that he's got a good shot at winning the next one because he's got to have a competitor first. And what we're being offered now is getting a little on the weak side.
Oh,
Hillary has to the end of the year
Al Gore.
to be able
Hillary's
to get
not going to do it, Phil. She had it.
If it's Hillary, then his campaign slogan's going to be "Punt the cunt."
Oh,
He couldn't even grab her by the pussy.
Well, then again, who
I
would
don't
who
think
would
she
want?
has one.
Well, she does, but it's got bats and mold and Anyway, no, but I mean, who's going to run? I mean, let me put it this way. Yeah. I think a trained chimp could probably beat Trump in the next election with all the heavy stuff he's got going into it. Don't say a word, Phil. I think it's very winnable, but I don't know if it's winnable by just anybody. I don't think that, I hate to say this, but I don't know if Elizabeth Warren has been poisoned by...
She did it to herself.
No, she didn't do it to herself,
Beto
Phil.
O'Rourke.
No, wait a minute, let me finish. She has been poisoned by the public, or to the public, by the inference that she's so fucking to the left. Well, look, I'm really to the left, and I don't think she's that far to the left, okay? You know, but they've been giving that inference. Oh, she can't be elected because she's too far to the left. And I don't, you know, I mean, if people say, hey, I want to give you medical care and things like that, you know, Phil's got his hand up sheepishly. Yes, Phil.
She jumped to the head of the line, and she put people off. She doesn't have anywhere near the black vote, except for Charlie's. She does not have the black vote. She does not have the American Indian vote. She doesn't have the minority vote. For instance,
and Trump will get the minority vote.
He'll get more of them than her. I believe that Bloomberg is going to run. I believe that they're going to go to him before the end of the year so he can get on all the ballots, and I believe that it's going to be Bloomberg.
Well, now you'll have a chance to vote for a Jew.
No, I can't see him.
You have a chance to vote for a Jew.
I could have, supported Bernie and had a sort of a Jew.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, you're right. He needed candidate.
Could Bloomberg give Trump a good run for his money?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll want to run. No, you think he'd want to give everything up to run?
Well, no, they've been talking. He mentioned that if Joe Biden got out of the race, he would jump in, is what he has said. You know, and Biden don't look like he's going to be around very much longer. Yes, Bree.
Beto O'Rourke had a comment in the last Democratic debate that I thought was kind of, hit the nail on the head when he said something to the effect that Elizabeth Warren seems to be punitive in a lot of the ways that she approaches things, and to that degree. And she said her response was, "I'm shocked that anybody would think that I'm punitive," or something like to that effect. And I thought, really, how could you be shocked if one of the challengers on the stage voices the opinion of a lot of people? I see that as well. She comes across as that she wants to be punitive to some.
She comes across like an elementary school teacher saying, "Johnny, you sit down and get in the corner and wear that hat." That's the way.
Well,
I don't,
Phil. I don't know that she comes across that way. I think the problem is, you to begin with, you're coming at it with a prejudice because she's a woman.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Definitely,
a woman. Definitely.
I mean,
because you expect. Look, if you expect a woman, I mean, how can you even find her unacceptable, and yet you find this oaf Donald Trump acceptable?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I find.
Listen to what he says.
I listen to what he says, but he ain't saying shit.
No, you just don't like the way he says it.
No,
you want to shoot the messenger.
I don't like my president being crass, being rude, being a bully, doing tweets where he's calling people assholes and things like that.
I don't like that either. But
if you don't like it,
a lot more than Obama.
If you don't like it, then you shouldn't put me down for not liking it.
Well, I don't like those things, but I like what he does. And I think you're going to see that most of the country thinks the same way I do.
I think that it's a question. Listen, it's really a question of the Democrats coming up with a good candidate, and they don't have one.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama they've mentioned, and she doesn't want it. God, she's having a great time now. She and Barack are having some. The kids are out of the nest, and they're traveling around the world, and they're running companies, and they're having a good time. They're really enjoying their post-presidency. So she doesn't really want to, doesn't want to jump in on that deal. Hillary, I don't think anybody wants Hillary. I don't think anybody thinks Hillary is a good idea.
I mean, this is number 3 now.
She lost that election. She lost it. She's trying to blame everybody. She's trying to blame Tulsi Gabbard, and she's trying to blame who else was it?
Bill.
Who was it? Jill Stein. No, Hillary, you lost it because you were not a good campaigner. You know, if when Trump was circling around her at that debate, if she had just turned around and said, "Would you please sit down? This is creeping me out," she would have won the fucking election.
I doubt it.
No, she would have shown some gumption. That's what she would have shown, and she didn't. And it was terrible, you know.
And, you know, she had some medical issues. Didn't she collapse going to her car?
Nobody said
A
what
few
happened.
other things.
Well, let's be honest, Phil. It's not easy running for president. Unless
Bernie Sanders can do it.
Bernie, yeah, and not have a heart attack?
A week later, he's back on the thing, and he looks good.
Yeah.
Except for what he says, but, you know,
know.
he looks good, and he looks strong.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
I'm going to sound morbid.
Huh?
Can I say so? I'm going to sound morbid for saying this, but if we woke up tomorrow morning and you heard the news, Donald Trump died on the shitter, I think we'd all be happy.
I think he will die on the shitter, to be
Because
honest
I
with
think
you.
I could see him squeezing it out, because they say most people die on the shitter, pushing it out too
Really?
fast.
Then I'm not going to the toilet as much as I have been, because I'm not going to
But
risk.
no, joking aside, he could do an Elvis, Alex. I could see him. I think the country would really be happy.
He could do an
He
Elvis.
blew his O-ring
Hey,
and had a
who's-
stroke.
Tony, who's knocking on your door right now?
No,
Are they wearing black suits?
not yet. I got the alarm on. But Phil, I think the country really would be happy. I mean, I don't want to see anybody die, but you wouldn't lose sleep. You wouldn't miss breakfast over him. I can tell
Well,
you that.
what did you say, Jeff? Wait a minute, we can't hear you.
Even Phil's laughing. He'd have a good time.
What?
He'd probably run a rug sale.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Now, unmute.
Orange rugs.
No, he's muted.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. What were you saying?
I would be very happy if he died. That would be a good deal.
Okay, let's
he's in a
all
better
take
place.
a vote here. How many would be happy if Donald Trump died?
I mean, I don't wish it on him, but I wouldn't be losing my sleep.
Yeah.
Betting into my
Oh, come on,
Just want him out of
Kathleen.
office. I don't care if he dies or not.
I would say he did it to himself. The stress of the job.
The stress of the job? What stress? He doesn't do
Well, he's
shit.
yelling at
He
everybody
doesn't
all
do
the
shit.
time.
He watches Fox all day.
That'll do it.
You know, probably watches Judge Judy, but not anymore because she's for
My
Bloomberg.
mother watches it. All she does, she's looking kind of sick now. How about that? I think she's got a wig on.
Who?
Who?
Ooh,
Judge Judy. I don't really hear anymore. My mother watches it.
I don't know.
Well,
I never watched Judge Judy. Do you watch Judge Judy?
My mother does. She yells.
Yeah, blame your mother.
Yeah, my mother does. Yeah, I've heard that one before.
So you got just one TV?
I'm just watching the porn to get an education. Yeah, right.
Is that how it's done?
Yeah.
We watch The Price is Right in the morning too. I kind
hey, you can learn a lot.
Well, I used to watch The Price
I'm
is
the,
Right.
I'm the
I
only one
watch
that
Mom from Carrie
watches
too. I like her.
decent TV. I watch King of the Hill. I like King of the Hill.
That's
You
what he
know?
feels he is king of the hill.
Nah, Hank
Oh, you-
Hill,
Son
Peggy
loves
Hill.
King of the Hill.
Well, he
Yeah,
thought
you
it
know.
was the King of the Phil, is what he thought.
No,
And-
he sells propane and propane accessories.
Yes. I'm gonna turn this.
So anyway, I just think that the Democrats have a real problem right now. I mean, it's that their three front runners really are not.
There's one other problem.
What?
The nation is seeing the do-nothing Congress, and they're going to throw those bums out too, because they haven't done anything except try to impeach Trump since the day he got
I
elected.
don't think they're going to throw him out. Look, Phil, I think you better realize.
Pelosi's looking for a job right now.
No, she's not. You got to realize that Trump has seriously damaged the Republicans. You know,
Republicans are going to lose even more seats in the House, and they're going to lose the Senate next year.
Pelosi's got a future in floor covering sales. I'm telling you.
She's gonna retire.
She's old.
I mean,
One more facelift, she's gonna have a beard.
my mother likes it. She keeps this. This is mine. She probably got a maid.
Yeah.
Catherine's got good comedy.
She's funny.
Kathleen,
Yeah.
well, that's why I
can
hung
see
out
two
with
together.
her.
You speak
You
along.
know.
Good.
And we had
Frank and
farting
Jim.
contests and punch buggy and, you know. It was
What fun.
yeah, we had some good laughs, you know. But so I remember you got mad at me once, and we were in the middle of the street in North Beach. I thought you were gonna fucking kill me. I mean, you were just. I got scared.
I don't know what the hell it was. I don't even.
I don't know. It was probably some bullshit thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some fun times. It was we palled around good. That's the way to describe it. We palled around good.
You know who sent me a real nice message a couple years ago was Greg Gorey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thanking me for being, you know, because he and the rest of the interns were so young.
Yeah.
And you know, and it was just a really sweet.
And what was he thanking
message.
you for?
He was saying thank you for. He hit me up on Facebook and just let me know what he was up to, and that he was down in LA, and he had a radio show, and that he just wanted to thank me for being so kind to him, being protective of him when he was working for you, and you know, feeding them at times, you know, because they were all starving interns.
Yeah, well, I fed him too, and I've never heard from Greg Gorey since I left that station. He can write you, but he can't write me.
He couldn't find you on Facebook.
That's good. Yeah.
I was just surprised that he even remembered me.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's surprising. I mean, he got a hold of you, but he's never gotten a hold of me. That's, you know.
That's weird.
That's what's surprising. But then again, very few people ever say nice things about me. So, you know, yeah, it's sad. They've all forgotten.
It is sad.
They've all forgotten. You know, I'll tell you the
maybe he owed you money.
Huh?
Maybe he owed you money.
Could be.
Yeah.
No, actually,
that's one way to lose a friend.
Did I hire him at one point? I hired him at one point, didn't I?
You hired me.
What a fucking mistake that was. Was I paying you, Phil? Was I paying you?
You actually asked me.
No, was I paying? Was I paying you?
Yes, and the only reason I took the money was it was my only paying gig in radio.
Where did I pay you from? Who paid you?
Camel.
KML was paid.
I got a check from Century Broadcasting.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's very good. You know, but I wasn't paying you. I wouldn't pay you for shit. I wouldn't even pay you for floor covering.
You never did. You never had to. But no, Century paid me.
Oh, okay. So that was nice.
Yeah.
They never paid me. No,
they paid you, but not very much.
Not very much. Yeah, that's why I went off. When somebody came along, I'm very loyal, you know, because they took me when I was down and out, and I needed a job, and they let me have my way and to become a name in San Francisco. And then when somebody offered me $125,000 a year, I went bye.
Yeah, but they upped you to 75,
huh?
Didn't they? They upped you to 75 at Camel.
You
went in at 35.
Yes, at Camel they raised me to 75. These guys came along and offered me 125,000. And do you know who the middle guy was? What's his name? The guy who's the head of
you say Karmazin.
No, it wasn't Mel Karmazin. No, it was.
Which station? Camel?
No, the Quake. The middle guy, he was the head of MTV at the time, and now he's the head of iHeartRadio. I'll remember his name in a moment. And I get a call from him, and they say, "Oh, so and so's on the phone," and I went, "Wow, MTV! They're calling me. They want me to work at MTV."
I would be cool if you got an MTV. I always liked that.
Well, you know, when you want to hire somebody away from somebody, you don't exactly go to that person. You use a middle guy because he's not going to get sued for taking you away, but you're asking on behalf of your friends, would you be interested in talking to them? And that's what he was calling me about, that he knew these guys.
JFK deal?
No, this was the Quake.
Oh.
This was the Quake deal.
Oh.
No, WJFK was Mel Karmazin, but that was years later. But they came along and said, He said, "Would you like to meet with these guys?" So I met with
Remember
him.
that radio station?
Yeah. KOME, KFRC.
How about
wait.
KFAT?
There's nothing there from a radio station I worked for.
Oh, just hold your frickin' horses.
Okay.
You didn't give away swag.
There we go. There's a Quake. Right? Any
Hey,
other?
remember Kink?
Kink?
I think that might have been Washington.
Huh.
I used to have a Quake.
KMEL. That I worked for them. Turn it around.
I
though.
had a
You
belt
hit
buckle that looked like that.
It's one of those reverse
Oh
stickers.
yeah, it went on the rear windows of cars.
Yeah.
Was the Moroso guy?
Moscoso, who was my cousin's husband.
I had a belt buckle, a camel belt buckle that the
Yes.
guy that used to be in charge of camel stuff
Yeah.
or
Swag,
gave me.
Yeah.
And
I had one
can't
of those,
find
and I don't know where mine is either. But my cousin's husband created that. There's a Live 105 window sticker. See, she's got. Why'd you save all those?
Man, I have this.
He doesn't have a car yet.
I have a bunch of stickers.
Oh, Heidelberg beer. Well, contract. Wow.
Peter Kiewit and Sons. That's what my dad worked for.
Hey, listen, by the way, I want to thank all the three people who are watching tonight, two of which are Phil and I, on Facebook. All you people on YouTube, nice crowd out there. We had a pretty good amount, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
32, right?
Well, yeah, but over the night, we may have more than that, I can only tell when we're through.
But you didn't advertise, did you?
No, but I would have put it on my Facebook page, so the same people who didn't come to my Facebook page to see the video would not have come there to see that I was going to have the video on there. So, But this little experiment went without putting much. It's not putting much pressure on my system. What?
CNET?
CNET. These are all the people I work for. I work for CNET too.
Yeah, I know. I got that sticker from you.
Yeah. And
I never listened to you when you were on any other radio station other than CNET.
Really?
Even at Camel, I was busy doing stuff, so I wasn't listening to the show.
Yeah.
I was answering phones, pulling carts. Yeah. But at when you were at CNET, I used to listen to that. I love that show.
Well, it's I think one of the more interesting moments of me trying to take shit and shine it,
Well, it was so much interesting stuff, and it was at the beginning of the tech revolution, and the stuff was so new.
No, it wasn't at the beginning of the tech revolution, because while I was there, the entire thing came down around our whatevers. Yeah. Well, let's face it, you can't sell dog food on the internet. All right.
Yeah, but you can get an Arion share on the corner.
Because your dog wants to eat now. That was the lesson we learned from that.
You gotta be proactive.
Hey, listen, the theme is playing, and I've got to sign off of both of our things here.
And for all those people that hate me, it's gonna be Phil free tomorrow.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing security for a synagogue.
You're doing You're doing.
Why does that sound?
Yeah,
I bought 300 bullets tonight.
Jesus Christ!
There's 100 of them.
I
gotta load my mags.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, he's gonna drop his load at a synagogue. Anyway, thank you, Kathleen. Great seeing you here again tonight, Schmoody. Good having you here. You're a funny fucker. You really are. And good night to your son. He's there.
Say good night.
Good night.
Yeah, okay, good night.
Good night.
Yes, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Thanks to our good friend Charles. Charles. Thanks to Jeff. Thanks to Phil. And thanks to Bree. Thank you, Bree. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye so they can see you go away. All right, I'll wave back too. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizens panel. Let me get rid of them so the next show, which is Jack Bishop and the intersection can be up next and do their little frivolities. We'll be back again tomorrow night, same time, right after Damien at 9:30. We'll be here at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you happen to see her, you know what? Tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.